Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Beneduce, and what I've decided to do is to video my running journey in hopes that I can help to inspire people to get healthier and get fitter, but also to keep me accountable to my goals and my targets. So why am I doing this? Mainly because I want to see as many people as I can improve when it comes to their running performance and get healthy at the same time. You're nothing without your health, and they tend to connect into one another as well. So the healthier you are means the more likely you are going to get PBs, you're going to be able to run faster, you're going to be a stronger person, and that's what I want to see. I want to see more people running for a long period of time, improve their longevity in running, and also be able to enjoy running with their friends or by themselves. What I promise to do is to be very honest about my training approach and share the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to me trying to hit my targets, and to be as open as I can about what I'm using and how I'm using it to help optimize my performance. So far in my journey, I've been running for around 2 years, so it's a relatively short journey. I've gone from being able to run a 95-minute half marathon to being able to run an 87 half. In 8 weeks, I have another race coming up, and the aim is to try and go around 85 minutes. And then later on in the year, in November, I have another race where I'm trying to go around 80 minutes or under. So some pretty big goals. However, I feel like I have the right tools and I have the right areas of expertise to help optimize my performance. And this is where you guys come in, because I will be sharing and documenting what I do to try and hit them goals. So I am a personal trainer. I've been working as a personal trainer for 15 years. I'm also a qualified strength and conditioning coach, a plant-based nutritionist, a stress management coach, and I work in something called epigenetics, which just means looking at how your genes express in different environments and finding out what environment works better for you. We are all different, and we all need to understand what our body needs to thrive. Over the last 2 years, I have been using a certain training protocol to hit my targets, and that is known as MAF. So what does MAF stand for? It just means maximal aerobic function, and this was created by Dr. Phil Maffetone. And the reason why he created this was that he was seeing a lot of people who were fit, but weren't healthy. So what does that mean? It means that people were able to run fast times, however their health was falling apart, which eventually affected their performance. So this is kind of the opposite of what runners tend to look at. I want to look at health first, so that's why I wanted to use this approach, and it's worked wonders for me. And how you do it is you run at a low heart rate for a certain amount of time, and when I say time, this is months, to build an aerobic base. The stronger you are aerobically means that you are fitter and stronger to be able to handle the load of high intensity work later on in your plan. Now, I'm going to say this, unfortunately, a lot of runners tend to think you just constantly run slow when you do MAF. That is wrong. There are periods where you run fast. However, you need to build your base before you do any of that. Very similar to weight training. If I can't do a body weight squat, why the hell would I put weight on my back and go into a squat position? I'm going to end up injuring my knees, or end up hurting my lower back, or just be chronically fatigued because my body's not used to that additional load. Very similar to running. So what I did is, for the first 8 months of my running life, you could say, I spent in MAF. So I was just running slow, low heart rate, pretty much every other day. Eventually I was able to add more and more time running, and by doing that I found that I was getting faster. So when I first began, I used to struggle to hit around a 7-minute K. Within that 6 to 8 months, I was able to drop it down to a 5-minute K. And during my last training cycle, before my race in February, I was able to run around a 4:45 to a 4:30 K, which is pretty quick. And this is the best thing about the MAF approach. You test yourself every month to see whether you're improving or if you're getting worse. Now, if you're improving, that means that the additional stress that you've got in your life is working in a positive way, and you're getting fitter and stronger, and that's where we want to be. If you start to slow down, that is showing you that, one, it could be that you're running too much, or you've got too much additional stress in your life, or your lifestyle needs to be improved. And it's common to hit plateaus during this plan, and it's usually when you would start to include a little bit of speed work in, not too much, but it would be a couple of weeks adding speed work here and there to see if the body's able to start turning over and get used to running it a bit faster. So every month I will do a math test just to see where I currently am, and it's just a really simple way of just seeing if you're healthy or not. So that's another reason why I love this approach. How do you work your math heart rate out? Now, before I say any more, it's all dependent on your current health level. So you do need to go and see a physician, or a doctor, just to make sure there's no underlying health conditions. But let's just say you've done that. The easiest way of explaining this is you get your age, you take that away from 180, and then from there, that is your math heart rate. And the aim is you should never go over that. For me, I'm 36 years of age. When I first began, I was 34. So each year, as you get older, as you can see, my heart rate's having to get lower. And that's perfectly fine because I'm actually getting fitter and healthier and I'm running at a lower heart rate, and that's cool. I'm happy with that. But based on your age, will determine how high you can have that heart rate. When you're younger, you can add more stress in. As you get older, it will decrease. Once you have that heart rate, then every time you run, the aim is to wear a heart rate monitor. So you wear a watch and you wear a heart rate strap. The reason why you wear the strap around your chest is it's way more accurate than just the watch. So you've got to make sure that you've got both if you want to hit the full effect of this type of training. Then from there, all you do is you set an alarm. So for me, every time I run, the alarm is set for 144 beats per minute. If I go any faster than that, it'll send an alarm will go off. And from there, I will either stop, walk, or just take a couple of deep breaths, then I start going again. The aim is that you shouldn't be trying to push and hit that top range all the time. If anything, you kind of work within a 10 range beat. So for me, right now I'm going for around 130 to 140 beats per minute. So it gives me that 4 beats extra as a buffer. Some of the benefits of math is, as I mentioned just before, it's a great way to indicate how healthy you are. If you're healthy, you're moving in the right direction. If you're not, you're going to be moving in the opposite direction. The second thing is you improve your metabolism. So when you're running at a low heart rate, you are using fat as your main fuel. If you get better at burning fat, that is a good thing. It means that you're getting leaner. And if you're getting leaner, it means that energy-wise, metabolism is working the right way. If you're putting weight on, then that's a surefire way of saying that something's wrong. Another benefit when it comes to math is you're decreasing the likelihood of getting injured. Because the training intensity is not as intense, you'll find that you can recover faster and absorb the training. And the key when it comes to doing this type of training is to have the volume. So spending more time on your feet running is going to allow you to get faster and stronger at the same time. Another benefit is you will feel rejuvenated after you run. If you're running high intensity sessions, you tend to be pretty wrecked by the end of it. You will find when you're running at a lower heart rate that you'll come back and you'll be like, wow, I actually feel really good. And that's what we want. We want to feel good. Now, if it's something that you want to be doing for a long period of time, I know I'd rather spend my time feeling better than feeling worse after doing a training session. Another added bonus is it allows you to appreciate where you're running. If you're running fast, you're not really taking the time to admire the scenery. It's all about trying to hit that split, trying to hit them Ks or miles, depending on what you calculate in. And it's all about just getting it done as fast as you can. When you're running slow, you can get to the point that you can stop your watch, look around. You know, if you're on a trail run, which I would highly suggest, and I'll do another video on, then you're getting fantastic scenery. It's going to be a great way to reduce stress. And as I say, it gets you to explore different routes and be able to appreciate where you're running. So if I've got to break this down, why I like to use math: one, it's less intense on the body. It allows me to train for more hours. It allows me to appreciate where I'm running. It's a fantastic way to release stress instead of adding stress into my life. It allows me to get stronger and fitter within a way that is not putting too much additional stress on the body. And I've got faster by doing it. Now, I've mentioned before, there is speed work that needs to be included. However, you need to build a base before you do any of that. Occasionally, you can allow yourself to do a high intensity session here and there if you just feel the urge to do so, or if you want to do a park run and run with other people, that is cool. But if you are going to include speed work, what I would suggest doing is running downhill. Now, the reason why I say this is, one, it doesn't increase the heart rate too high when you're running downhill in comparison to when you're running uphill. And the second thing is you're going to help improve the frequency of your running. And what I mean by that is your technique. It's also going to help to engage the hamstrings and the glutes better, and it will help improve your running dynamics, so the stride length and the cadence. So by running downhill, that's a really good way to make sure that you can add a little bit of high intensity work in without putting too much additional load on the body. And lastly, but not leastly, is making sure that you do on strength work. You've got to do some sort of strength work and flexibility work put together. So I do mobility training. If you're not moving your body in a range of different positions, you are setting yourself up to fail. Running one way and one way only, your body will become deficient in other areas where it needs to be able to move. And let's just say you end up changing direction. The body's not prepared for it. That's an injury waiting to happen. I'll explain more in other videos when it comes to strength, but making sure you are adding different types of training into your life and different movements is going to help improve the longevity of the running. So that's math kind of summed up very quickly. There is more information out there. In particular, a very good friend of mine, who is also my coach, Floris Gearman, is great when it comes to explaining math, and you can expect to see more work with him and I come together very soon. So check out his channel. I'll just put a link in below. However, if you like what you've seen, click the like button, subscribe, share. The aim is I want to try and build a community of people who are wanting to improve performance, but most importantly, improve their health. If this sounds like you, it would be awesome if you could join in and let me know what you want me to cover in the next video. Apart from that, look after yourself, take care, and I will see you soon.